Hello students, today we are going to start geography chapter number 2 inside our earth. Please take out your copies if you have not done so. Take out. Okay, so this is my video number 1 for chapter inside our earth. Now, you know, our earth, our homeland, it is a very dynamic planet. What do you mean when I say dynamic planet? I mean our planet, it is continuously undergoing changes every time. Like right now also, there might be some changes happening inside the earth or outside the earth. Basically, every time, continuously, somewhere here or there, some changes are happening. Now, before proceeding to the chapter, the first important thing that I want you to know is the term geologist. You know, geologists are those persons who does a detailed study of the interior of the earth. Please write this down. Write down geologist. Write down. Geologists are those persons who does a detailed study of the interior of the earth. Now, moving forward, have you ever imagined what changes happen inside the earth, or what are the things present inside the earth? Have you ever thought about it? That only we are going to study in this chapter. Clear? Okay. So, now when I say interior of the earth, I want to tell you that it is very difficult to have a proper and exact information about what is happening inside the earth. We have very limited information about it. Because, why do you think we have very limited information about it? Because the deeper we go in, the temperature increases. And the temperature at the center is around 5000 degrees Celsius. So, it is very difficult to have a detailed study of whatever is happening inside the earth. We have very limited information about it. Then, the average density of the earth is 5.5 gram per cubic centimeter. Clear? First of all, geologists are those persons who does a detailed study of the interior of the earth. Secondly, we have very limited information about the interior of the earth because the deeper we go in, it becomes difficult for us since the temperature goes on increasing. And the temperature at the center of the earth is 5000 degrees Celsius. Then the average density of the earth is 5.5 gram per cubic centimeter. Now I am going to show you a short video on different layers of the earth. That is structure of the earth. Now, when I talk about structure of the earth, earth basically comprises of 3 layers: crust, mantle and core. Now, before proceeding forward, I would like to show you a small video first so that you have a clear idea about what I will be talking now. Clear? So, just look at this video.
About the layers of the earth. The earth is made of 4 layers: the crust, the mantle, inner core, and the outer core. Some of the layers have even more layers inside them and are always moving. Come on, let's start from the outside and move our way in. Whoa! Crust. The crust is the thin outer layer of the earth where we all live. The crust varies from around 3 to 5 miles thick in the ocean floor to around 25 miles thick on land. Earth's crust is found on the outer surface, and it is made of solid rock and minerals. Mantle. Ah, the next layer. The next layer of the Earth is the mantle. The mantle is thicker than the crust at almost 1,900 miles deep and makes up about 85% of the Earth's weight. It is solid rock, but not completely hard. Amazing. The mantle is made up of slightly different silicate rocks with more iron and magnesium. Tectonic plates. The tectonic plates are a combination of the outer mantle and the crust. These plates move very slowly, about a couple of inches per year. The place where the plates touch each other is known as the fault. When the plates move and the boundaries bump up against each other, it may cause an earthquake. Whoa! Outer core. The Earth's outer core is made up of hot liquid iron and nickel and is about 1,400 miles thick. Too thick. The outer core creates something called a magnetic field and makes a protective barrier around the Earth that shields us from the sun's destructive solar wind. That's cool. Now, the inner core. The Earth's inner core is made up of solid iron and nickel and is about 1,500 miles thick. That's too hot, and unbelievably, it's as hot as the sun's surface, around 9,000 to 13,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Now you know a lot about the layers of the Earth. Please drop a like.
So you saw the video, you saw how our Earth is made up of different layers, crust, mantle and core. You have seen an onion, you all have seen an onion. You have seen how many layers it has. When you start peeling those onions, you will see different layers coming out. In the same way, our Earth is just like an onion which comprises of different layers. See, for example, I am just making a short example for you. Suppose this I am making of Earth. Now, in the center here, this is core. Core is at the center of the Earth, which I said is very, very hot. Here you will find mantle, okay? And here at the top, you see crust, okay? This is basically the structure of the Earth. Here you will have core, then mantle, and then at the top crust. So these three layers we are going to study in this chapter. We'll start with the crust. Today we are going to study about crust. Now when I talk about these three layers, crust is relatively tiniest or thin layer out of all. Like out of all these three layers, crust is relatively thin layer. Secondly, this crust, it is 35 kilometer thick in the continent region and 5 kilometer thick in the oceanic region. 35 kilometer thick in the continent region and 5 kilometer thick in the ocean region. Crust, when I talk about continental crust, there are many various minerals which are found there. And our continental crust, it comprises of silica and aluminium. These are the two minerals which are found in abundance in the continental crust. That is why it is also known as Cl. Now just look at these two words and tell me why I have written that continental crust is also known as Cl. Just use your brain. It's like a small brain warming activity for you. Just see, why do you think it is known as Cl? Try. See. Silica. Si. Okay. And aluminium. Al. SiAl. That is why it is known as Cl. Clear? Now when we come to ocean, oceanic crust, it is made up of silica and magnesium. Therefore, it is also known as SEMA. Now, why it is known as SEMA? Very good. Similarly, as in continental crust, it comprises of Si and Al. It forms Cr. In the same way, oceanic crust, it comprises of Si and Ma and forms SEMA. Clear? Now, average density of the crust is 3.0 gram per cubic centimeter. Clear about crust? Let's just have a quick recap what all we have done today. See, I told you that first of all we started with geologist. I told you geologist is the person who studies in detail about the interior of the earth. Then I told you that it is very difficult to have exact information about the interior of the earth. And why so? Because the interior of the earth is very, very hot. You saw in that video, the temperature there is around 5000 degrees Celsius. So, we cannot have exact information about the interior of the earth. Now, then I told you that our earth, it comprises of 3 layers. I told you earth comprises of 3 layers. Crust, mantle and core, in which today we started with crust. Now when I was explaining you crust, I told you out of all these 3 layers, crust is relatively thin layer. It is very, very thin. Secondly, it is 35 kilometer thick in the continent region and 5 kilometer thick in the oceanic region. Now this continent region or the continental crust, it is made up of basically 2 minerals, that is silica and aluminium. And since it is made up of silica and aluminium, that area or that crust is also known as Cr. Secondly, when I talk about oceanic crust, I told you it is made up of again another 2 minerals, that are silica and magnesium. Now, since it is made up of silica and magnesium, Si, Ma, it is also known as SEMA. Clear? Then the average density of the crust is 3.0 per cubic centimeter. Am I clear? Done? Okay. Now, I'll give you a small assignment that you have to do it in your notebook. I hope you all have understood what I have explained today. I hope there is no confusion. Okay, just write down the assignment now. Okay, so this is your assignment number 1 of geography. You have to write the chapter name, assignment 1, and then you will write this question. Question number 1, who is a geologist? You have to write what do you mean or what do you mean when you say a geologist. Who is that person? Okay, you only have to write that definition. Remember I told in the starting of this class? Clear? Your second question is, name the 3 layers of the earth. In this, you have to name the 3 different layers of the earth. You only have to write their name. Clear? Then in question number 3, why continental crust is also known as Cr. If you remember when I was explaining you continental crust, I told you why it is known as Cr. You remember silica and aluminium. So based on that, you have to write an answer to this question. Clear? Everybody understood this? Now you will be doing this in your classwork copy, and in my next video we will be covering mantle and core. Clear? Okay.